Let's use the Walking Atlas to drop this in. Then we cast our commander. Then let's cast the Sarah Paragon, getting back to the mountain, and we'll get to make a spirit. We did it one time.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out this Boros Landfall deck from a recent EDH rec article and find out if we can make Landfall work in a non-green deck. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Quintorious Field Historian Boros Landfall today. So I stole this deck list from an EDH rec article that was published about a week ago, probably longer than that by the time this video goes live. It generated a lot of discussion in my Discord, and we kind of started talking about it. I thought the list looked interesting. There was a lot of interesting interactions, stuff that I just haven't played a lot of, so I thought it would be cool to look at it for that reason. But I did note a few other things that we'll talk about as we get going here. I had to make a few changes. We see one hand right here, which is Gift of Estates. It was a Landfall deck without Gift of Estates. Seems like an oversight, in my opinion. Anyway, oh god, there's just no reason to run a turn 1 Dragon Master Outcast out there. Just gonna get eaten by some... Oh, he really is playing Meren? Not thrilled about that. Anyway, yeah, so the main idea with this deck is that we're playing Quintorious Field Historian, 5 mana, 2/4, spirits get +1/+0. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 3/2 red-white spirit creature token. So that's kind of the crux of this deck, is that a lot of lands should be going in and out of the graveyard, and we should be able to make a lot of spirits. I would say overall, the concept is pretty janky. I'm not expecting this to rip apart high-power decks easily. I just, it seems like a lot of things are going to need to happen in the right order, and a lot of things are going to need to stay in play for this deck to be able to do its thing. While we're talking about the deck, two of the things I noted, looking through the list, that the removal and the card draw were pretty bad. The removal's about 7 pieces, which is low, but almost manageable. If it were my list, I would definitely add at least 3 more, at least get to 10. 13 is more comfortable if you're playing a little stronger. There's a Cosmic Intervention. That might be a nice turn 2 play here. Flip Plains... Yeah, we'll just foretell the Cosmic Intervention. Also, there's some cool stuff in here that I'm interested in trying out for a deck that I'm working on that I think is going to be pretty spicy, but I don't want to spoil anything yet. Occasionally, people ask me, what deck are you excited about? This is the deck that I'm pretty excited about right now. And generally, it takes a lot for me to get excited about a deck. It's got to be, pretty unique in what it's doing. So, anyway, that one should hopefully be done soonish. But needless to say, that deck will require things like Cosmic Intervention, so you know it's spicy. Taking a look at this deck list, here's the deck list. I have all the removal over here, 7, little low, like we talked about, but the card draw was almost non-existent for this deck. So there were 3 cards that weren't available on Magic Online. Thank God, that made 3 easy slots for card draw. I added a few more anyway. Added Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Misfortune, Ignite the Future, Showdown of the Scalds. Gift of Estates is card advantage, and very helpful if you're doing Landfall. So those are the main card draw pieces that I added. Hopefully we run into one. Walking Atlas is very... Actually, Walking Atlas is perfect right here. Let's play this Walking Atlas, because then we can go Walking Atlas, Gift of Estates next turn, and then start dropping in all the lands. Actually, we'll need to catch up a turn. No, we'll be a turn ahead, right? So, no, we're ahead. It'll be our turn 4. We'll be on 4 lands. Either way, as long as the Walking Atlas doesn't get shot, I'll be very happy. Walking Atlas is a card that I like. It's tough to run it everywhere, but if you're playing a deck that can draw a lot of cards, so maybe a Wheels deck, or, something else that just draws like crazy, especially if you're not in green and you don't have a way to cough those lands out quickly, Walking Atlas is a nice little piece. Yeah, it's fragile, dies to just about everything, but, even if you get a land or 2 with it, Feather, I've noted that Walking Atlas is not a bad little inclusion. Also, what's funny in Feather, I've done this, because Feather runs the 2 cantrips that draw a card and give stuff haste. I've done this where you play a land, play a Walking Atlas, give it haste, tap the Walking Atlas, and get a land right all in the same spot. It's fun. How effective that is, if that's the best use of your resources, maybe, maybe not, but if it's early in the game and you're trying to get lands in, it's fun. It makes me laugh. There's a Kodama for opponent. Oh, he's playing that deck? I feel grossly overmatched in this game. This was one of the few pieces of card draw in the deck. I do not consider this card draw. Yeah, it's good for certain things. It's good for looting and stuff, but looting... you're actually losing a card to loot right there, which I'm not thrilled about. Yeah, I'm just I'm not a faithless looting guy. I don't know what it is. Just not a lot of love for it. Like, personally, a lot of times I would rather run Hazard's Monument because it's repeatable and it gives you a little bit of ramp. It's like doing something, which, yeah, I don't know. Most of the time I would run Hazard's Monument instead. Not thrilled about Faithless Looting. Anyway, we get some planes here. Let's get a Mistveil Plains. We'll get no duels in this deck, but we'll get a Sacred Foundry and I guess an Alpine Meadow. Looks like everything we're doing is coming in tapped anyway, so play the Mistveil Plains, activate the Walking Atlas, drop in the Alpine Meadow, and look at us, we've got up to the turn count. Beautiful. And we generated some advantage by playing the Gift of Estates, got some extra cards out of it. I mean, that's pretty good. We played a Gift of Estates and put 2 lands into play in the same turn. I don't actually know if I've done that before, just because you generally need a Walking Atlas to do it. Regardless of how this game goes, that was an exciting moment for me. That's a Silverwing Squadron. That's a pretty good card. Mango's off to the ramp over there. Huge Archive and Everflowing Chalice. Yeah, seems pretty good. Turn 4 is pretty early for a 6-drop. And a powerful 6-drop. Like, this is the type of thing that, like, it needs a little bit of time to get going. So you drop it down early like this, and that's actually a problem. Because if no one kills it, it will have the time it needs to do its thing. Sol Ring. Yeah, like, we're already, like, kind of behind. Not thrilled about that. And the fact that, like, our opponents are ramping and we're just at the turn count right now. Now, if we can find our way into another land, potentially with the Faithless Looting, then we can get caught up and get ahead a little bit. We can at least get ahead of the turn count. That's a Kodama over to Mango. Yep. Yeah, so one of my concerns with the deck, this is not the fault of the deck's creator. The card draw thing is, right? Like, so the card draw thing and the removal thing, those are solvable problems by the creator. The thing that's not a solvable problem, and I tweeted about this, and it got a decent reaction, is that it took 6 sets and 3 blocks to get a good red landfall card, which is Morag, Fury of Akum, and you know, most of them look like this, and it's just, like, not exciting. Just not. Generally speaking, this card is not strong enough for Commander, at least in a general sense. The fact that we're built around it. This deck wants to operate a lot like a Scape Shift deck, almost. And that being the case, you might get some damage. Oh, you know what card's not in here? Volakut Exploration. Oh, no, it is. Oh, thank God. I was gonna say. Sun Titan is a super helpful Magic card. And actually gives us some things that we can do here. So let's start with the Faithless Looting. And here he's lithoforming a Mary of Shepherds, also a really cool card. So definitely the Outcast. I'm thinking the Geoped also, since those are the easiest things to get back. Man, we didn't catch that land though. God. Ugh. Faithless Looting. Really? Like, I get that they're like on completely different price points, but like Tithe's a way better card than Faithless Looting. For most decks. Yeah, like this, right? Like, we could just be generating more advantage, instead we're having to, like, loot and lose a card doing it, and makes me not the most happy. Yeah, I guess it's the Geoped. Are we flashing this thing back? Like, I'm just trying to get to lands. Except if it backfires again? There's one land. Cartographer is interesting. This is an interesting card. I have not really played this card. I've heard people talk about it a little bit, but I need to see it before I can, like, understand how effective it is. The protection spell is nice. Prefer not to give that up. We need the Cartographer. Sun Titan. So that has to make the plan. Yeah, maybe it's Sun Titan. Because we can get the Sun Titan back with it. I mean, I hate that. I hate that as a plan. Don't like it at all. Maybe it's Underworld Breach. Underworld Breach is super late game, and we have 2 of... Yeah, I think it's Underworld Breach. Oh, God, it's 2. God, I hate Faithless Looting so much. So bad. I guess it's the Sun Titan. Like, I hate this. I hate that I have to do this. Play the Cabaret Courtyard. It sacrifices. There's no Volakut in this deck either. Wait, did I add it in? I might have added it. I can't remember. I looked at it and there was no Volakut. I'm like, weird. Activate the Walking Atlas. Get our Sacred... You know, we could have waited on that. Actually, well, no, I think it's fine. Yeah, pass like that. God, I hate Faithless Looting. What an awful Magic card. You won't see it in the edit, but I seriously spent like several minutes thinking about what to discard there, when we could just be generating advantage and not having to like throw all of our stuff away that we want. So here's a point. I just spent several minutes trying to like figure out this Faithless Looting. Use Wheels instead of Faithless Looting. And I get that they're, once again, different price points, but Wheel of Misfortune isn't terribly expensive. Reforge the Soul, I think, is affordable last I looked. But those cards generate advantage where Faithless Looting does not, and that's important. Like, that's so incredibly important, especially in the early game. Like, maybe, even in the late game. And I get it, there are times that you don't want to cast a wheel if your opponents are on like 1 and 2 cards each. Sure, maybe you don't want to cast the wheel, but at any point, like, you need to generate advantage, and Faithless Looting does not do that. Like, we just spent 4 mana and discarded a bunch of stuff that, like, we probably wanted in our hand just to make land drops, right? And for this deck, I would take Gift of Estates number 3. I don't even know what that card is, but there's got to be another one somewhere. If, like, any of the creatures that find lands and put them into your hand, there's a whole bunch of them. Boreas Charge was probably the best one of the group. Like, give me that over this Faithless Looting. Or even the 2/2 cat that was in one of the old Commander products. Like, it's highly mediocre, but I would take that over this Faithless Looting. All right, I'll shut up about the Faithless Looting, but I just want you guys to know that, like, that play was... I did not enjoy that at all. Anyway, let's take a look at what our opponents are playing. So first up, we got Mango piloting Aryel, Knight of Windgrace, and they're doing a Night Tribal thing over here. Having a pretty good go of it. Got a Coffers into play. Will be a problem once the Urborg shows up. And importantly, they've got the Silverwing Squadron. They've been doing stuff with it. It's a 7/7 already with Flying and Vigilance. We got a little pump effect there, got some ramp there, got some knights there. Yeah, like, the board's gonna have to get wiped in this game already. That's where we're at. There's an Order of Nylea. I suppose we could play this thing at some point. Ugh, man, the protection mode is just... like, I'd really much rather be on the protection mode than... But we need a couple more lands still. Like, we cast that Gift of Estates, we still just need more lands. We've got them all out really quickly with the Walking Atlas. And that's what I'm talking about, like, generating advantage, right? Just, you need to draw cards, not loot cards. Caustic Caterpillar, all of the artifact and enchantment removal. We actually have surprisingly little in the way of artifacts and enchantments. I don't think Walking Atlas is enough to draw the attention of either of these. Like, you got Mango over there playing Knights, and like, so when you have a deck like Night Tribal, anyone that's like kind of thinking ahead would assume that there's going to be a couple powerful enchantments in there. I've played Night Tribal a bunch of times. Things like Cathar's Crusade, True Conviction are going to be really good for that deck. Knights are not the strongest tribe. They definitely need a little bit of help. There's a Meren. Yeah, Meren's pretty good. So with that, yeah, you'll expect some enchantments that, you know, can pump them up, make them really deadly. And I mean, they've got access to black, so like black market's always a concern. So I'm hoping no one shoots this Walking Atlas, because it's not that it does nothing, but it's I would say it's pretty innocuous based on the average game of Commander. Like, so... I love this question. Someone posted this on Twitter, and I think it was just the best question. I've talked about it once or twice, but they asked, what's more important, artifact removal or enchantment removal? I thought about the answer to it for quite a while before responding. It wasn't just like an off-the-cuff thing. I'm like, ooh, that's deep. There are generally more artifacts in play, but it only takes one enchantment to completely break the game, right? Like an unchecked Rhystic Study, an unchecked Smothering Tithe, Grave Pact, Black Market, Greater Good, any of those, I mean, even True Conviction, right? Like, you play a True Conviction, like, you're in a really good position to win the game if you have any creatures in play at all. This also just makes it, like, difficult to kill you, because you just leave them back, and, like, if they drop a True Conviction here, you can't even attack into them, right? Because they just all have First Strike and Lifelink. Like, you're gaining resources, and you just have, like, this giant combat advantage. But you guys get the point, right? Like, there are just... any single enchantment can, like, warp the game in someone's favor pretty far. Whereas, you know, a lot of the artifacts that get played are good, but a lot of them tend to be mana rocks. You know, you're better off hitting those with, like, a Vandal Blast or an Austere Command type of thing, kind of getting them all at once. Most of them don't rise to the occasion of, I'm going to use a piece of spot removal on this artifact. Zombie sacrifices the thing, or they... I was chatting, I didn't see how it died. Clattering Augur comes back at the end step. God, I hate Meren. They draw a card and lose a life. Imagine this for a second. Imagine this game without that Gift of Estates that we played. They had... I wasn't able to find Deep Gnome Terramancer online. Still just a difficult card to find for some reason. So this would have replaced that slot. But yeah, I don't know. This needs to be in the deck. Just too good not to. Zombie has to discard. What I'm not thrilled about is the idea of, like, going a Marius Shepherd, play a land, get Sun Titan, get something else back, and ooh, you know what we could do? We could play a non-planes and get this Underworld Breach back to our hand. That's not the worst idea I've ever heard. There's a Zuran Orb. I'd really like to make our next land drop. How are we going to make our next land drop? This might get shot. This is kind of an engine. We may just hold that. Likelihood of a wheel, not super high. D-Manny's really the only candidate. I think we're trying to make friends. Mango wants to be friends. Yeah, I'm going to use this for the card draw mode because, again, I'm just trying to get to those lands. This is an interesting card, though. It's a nice bit of utility. Card draw or protection as you need it. So hopefully we can catch one land here, if not two, because then we can get the Core Cartographer. The Cartographer will make me happy. There's one. Okay. Ooh, and a Sarah Paragon. I know what we can do. Oh, watch this. Oh, no, it enters tapped. No. Oh, if it entered untapped, we could use the Walking Atlas to get this and then play one from our graveyard. That'd be cool. So that being the case, we'll just play it. Cast the Zuran Orb. Thought about this thing's out here again. It depends on how D-Manny's feeling. I guess it's a sack out. I mean, we're not just going to, like, sack lands all willy-nilly. Well, this is a sack outlet, too. I guess if we lose it, then it's fine. But I'm thinking the plan here is just hold up the Chaos Warp. We can't really do that much else, yeah. It's like all we've got, so... you know what? We probably want to try to get our commander... Maybe we should have cast our commander this turn, honestly, but... Trying to get to more lands. Like, I'm just trying to keep the land drops coming, and we're not able to do that. Okay, if we catch a land off the top, we can go Walking Atlas, drop in the land, cast Sarah Paragon, play a land from grave, and... Actually, is this coming tapped? Yeah, it does come in tapped. God. The tap lands. Possible to try to set up cool plays. Budget mana base, I get it. I get it, but just frustrating in this moment. Thalia's Lancers is a pretty good place to be. D-Manny tends to run a few board wipes in that Halana deck. Blasphemous Act, definitely. There might be like one or two other red ones in there that I feel like I've seen maybe a chain reaction. I think we're kind of just playing the hope someone wipes the board game. Mango, you got to worry about them getting to the point where Teferi's Protection just... Ooh, that's the Urborg. Now they have a lot of extra mana. Do you have a Strip Mine? No Strip Mine. Aryel, Knight of Windgrace coming in, yep. We can get the Sarah Paragon, sacrifice that land, and then replay that land from grave untapped if we need to. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. And that'll generate the additional mana to also get Quintorious in, I think. The timing of that might not work out. Probably still need to catch a land off the top. We made friends with Mango, so they're sending this giant 9/9 over to D-Manny. Some 3/3s over to Zombie. Oh, I forgot that we have this as a protection spell. I know it's like in here as a combo piece, but... One more thing in the card draw, I was just thinking about this a second ago. So, the way this deck operates, it's essentially a combo deck. Like, it's essentially a, I don't know, we'll say like 4 to 5 card combo, probably, that you're trying to set up. Meaning, because, you know, you can't tutor for a lot of those things super well in Boros. Does mean you probably want a Fervent Mastery. Fervent Mastery, pray Underworld Breach doesn't go to the graveyard, that kind of thing. Maybe a gamble. Oof, both are painful. Anyway, generally though, in Boros, if you're trying to play a combo deck, that does mean you want to just draw like crazy, because it's just harder to find your combo pieces. Now, there is some redundancy in the things that you're looking for. There's, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 of these type of cards, which is probably going to be one of the key pieces. There's a number of ways to blow up all your lands also. Meren's going to block and eat a knight. Yeah, Mango has many knights. Many, many knights. D-Manny's going to get poked for 12, so that should keep them two tangled up. At the moment, our little deal is working out. Actually, we're on 7 mana, so... We just need to find a land, particularly a plains, for the Ameria Shepherd. Then we can kind of start the daisy chain of stuff. God, I'd even put an Armillary Sphere in this deck. Because, like, Armillary Sphere with Sun Titan? Legit. Even with this thing? Is there a Burnished Heart in here? No Burnished Heart? Good God. You know, I was really trying to go into this deck open-minded, and as we're getting into things here, I'm just like, ugh, really? That's why I don't trust anyone else to build Boros decks. Maybe Kristen. That's about it, though. I guess Rachel Weeks also. She's earned her keep as well. As a funny side story, there's this Feather deck on Tapped Out that has just like so many views. It's, I don't know, last I looked it had like 40 or 50,000 views, and on Tapped Out that's absurd. I don't even know. I think my most viewed deck has 10,000, and that's Angel Reanimator, and that deck is 6 years old, and I've made, I don't know, 15 videos on it, right? D-Man is gonna draw 8 cards. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, right. So just like none of my other decks are really even that close. I think Weapons of War is the other one that's like reasonably close to that, but none of my other decks really ever crack like 1,000 or 2,000 views. So this thing with like 40, 45,000 views, whatever it is just absurd. And I looked at it and I'm like, this Feather deck is not good. Like, it was running like 30 lands or something like that, and it was not a CEDH deck. It was not running Mox Diamond and Chrome Mox and, you know, other things that kind of like replace land slots. I actually played it one time, and like, it was infuriatingly bad, and, oh god, and draw 8 more? Man, like, we should probably Chaos Warp that, but we're stuck on this one piece of removal, so it just kind of needs this. I mean, maybe they'll kill each other, right? So, Mango's got all this, which means watching D-Manny draw that many cards, hopefully Mango goes over there, then tries to kill D-Manny. Maybe we just stay out of this. Hope for the best. That's I think that's what we're on here. I think I sent them a comment and I like waited till I cooled off because my initial gut reaction to the deck is like, this thing is terrible. Like, God. Like, it wouldn't bother me as much if like no one had seen the deck, but a lot of people were like interacting and be like, oh yeah, this looks so good. I'm like, the 30 lands in this deck don't look good. You're never gonna get past 2 lands, like ever. And, you know, with Feather you want 4 lands, right? You need 3 to get Feather and 1 to protect it, because someone will probably just try to shoot it immediately. Cool little fight spell. Ambuscade. Haven't seen that one. They're going to take down the Aryel with it. There's Halana and Alena. That is D-Manny in the middle, by the way, piloting his Halana and Alena deck. We've seen it a bunch of times on the channel. It makes things really big. A lot of +1/+1 counters. and it hits you over the head with them really hard. And finally, over in the corner here, we got Zombie Caller piloting Meren of Clan Neltaf. Now, Meren, a very scary commander, but Zombie doesn't tend to build things to their most powerful conclusion, so this should be, and from what we've seen, a fairly watered-down Meren deck. Still a reason to be concerned, right? It's just, Meren is so easy, and it's been so easy for so long. Commanders now are just starting to catch up to Meren. Kind of. Some of them, right? Like, there's maybe, like, you get a handful a year that are, like, on the playing field with Meren. Yeah, D-Manny hits Mango. Was it Mango? Yeah, it hits Mango with the big thing. Oh, that's interesting. So, if I were Mango, I might have traded in. Mango has a lot of tokens and the ability to make more of them. Yeah, it would take, like, 4 tokens, which is a bit. But, yeah, I'd probably make that trade just given... I mean, maybe it's because I want them to make that trade because they both get set back a little bit by that. That'd be good, but... I mean, if Mango's just going to drop True Conviction, then taking the damage makes sense, too. I wonder if that's what they're kind of sitting on. D-Manny is tapped out, so this isn't going to be active. I guess this plus this is card draw, but I'd really rather have, like, our... Yeah, we need our commander in before we start doing any of that stuff. D-Manny went up to 15 cards. Their mana got weird. I don't think they had a red open for the Blasphemous Act. God, I really don't want to, like, commit too much into the Blasphemous Act. They discard down to a whole bunch. Looks like discarding mostly ramp. Priest of Gix. Very combo-centric type card. Mana neutral play. The Great Henge. Seems like that... Oh, maybe... Yeah, they needed the mana. Do it in the right order. It's unfortunate. That's worthy of a thing, but Zombie hasn't been doing all that much either, so we'll see. Sends in the Clattering Auger. It comes back. Oh, yeah, okay. At the end step, they draw a card with that, and they'll draw another card with that. Seems good. Does it say non-land cards? Yeah, non-lands. It's not quite Yawgmoth's Will. There's a land. Oh god. If it would enter the battlefield, sacrifice 2 untapped lands. If you do, okay, that's actually maybe helpful. So I want to get Quintorious, because we need that to happen before we can, like, really do a whole lot here. That'll make doing all the stuff we want to do actually good. Okay, so let's use the Walking Atlas to drop this in. Need to sacrifice 2 lands. Plains Mountain, I guess. Then we cast our commander. Then we... Is this any permanent? We play a land or 3 or less. Okay. Yeah, let's cast the Sarah Paragon. Getting back to the mountain. And we'll get to make a spirit. We did it one time. It's getting mighty late in this game. No removal. Things are happening much quicker than we'd like them to. We did the thing one time. All right. Think that's all we can do for now. Yeah, pass like that. What can we do with these? So we, I don't know if that's a great idea because you have to sacrifice 2 every time. It's a Vampiric Tutor. Yeah, that's going to be bad. I have to imagine 1 or more players are going to die. Let's put this in perspective. So what is our total mana production? It is 6. We're on 10 mana on turn 7, which is okay, but I guess a lot of that just came in off of this Scorched Rune. If this were a normal land, we'd be on 9 on turn 7. Okay. So we're a little ahead of the turn count, but like, just, yeah, there's the True Conviction. Thankfully, we have a couple of blockers. D-Manny's got nothing in the air, but we're... You know, you're gonna have to give stuff up on the ground for sure. Big flyer in the D-Manny. A bunch of things into Zombie. 5/5 into us. 3/3 into us. Silverwing will get bigger. Yeah, we need a D-Manny to drop a board wipe. That never happened. How much is actually coming at us? That's 10, 16. I'm just gonna keep all of our pieces, because, you know. I mean, I guess at the very least we can Chaos Warp the True Conviction. Maybe we should have blocked then. Oh, Mango goes to 58. Our saving grace was that they were down to, like, in the 20s, and we could start thinking about this tunneling Geoped, but 78. Wait, how'd D-Manny survive? I have no idea how D-Manny survived. Well, that's really good news for us. D-Manny drew a lot. I have to imagine they found a board wipe. They drew 15 cards. If not, just a way to, like, outright, well... You're probably not going to kill Mango from 78 right here, but... Traverse the Juvenwald, okay. We would need a true infinite. I'm not super comfortable with a lot of these cards. I'm not seeing one, but yeah, we would need like an actual infinite with this Tunneling Geopet, or just to find some removal. But there's Pier, okay. I said he drew 16, didn't find his removal. Yep, that happens sometimes. Are we taking a shuffle? We'll take a shuffle. Oh, I think we can have a turn. Demolition Field, destroy non-basic. Yeah, getting rid of the Urborg, because they have very few swamps. So cutting down the mana. They don't have any cards in hand, so really it's a matter of like dealing with, oh, you can crack a Burnish Chart. They already tapped this, so they can't crack that, but yeah, that makes sense. So we're gonna get some swamps, so they may be able to get to like neutral, at least on the Urborg, but... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this interaction's gonna be crazy. So if you've ever seen the fetch land interaction with Cosmic Intervention, it essentially allows you to trigger all of your lands 3 times. That's actually crazy. We could really use, well, we have this landfall payoff and we have this landfall payoff. I don't know that that's enough right here. They're going to shoot the True Conviction, so that saves us from having to do it. Love it. Yeah, maybe we should have blocked the token, but too late now. Sending in the Kodama. Oh, they got the Fog one? Yeah. The Fog one's going to keep us alive. Prevent all combat damage? Unless they try to kill us one at a time. That could be a problem, but... interestingly, the Geoped might get D-Manny killed. We could really use a big draw. I think we're going to have to use this thing. There's a world in which waiting another turn might be smart, so we don't kill D-Manny, but actually we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, if we trigger everything 3 times. I don't know that D-Manny's going to make it. Or we could just find a board wipe off the top somewhere, and that would make all this a whole lot easier. Plains. Plains is interesting. Are we doing the thing? Wait, let's read this again. Beginning of the next end step. Oh, the timing's going to get weird here. All right, so it means we can't double up our mana in the main phase. That's unfortunate. So with that being the case, then I think we just play it kind of chill here and just try to build up some blockers and stuff. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Get the Samaria Shepherd. This thing can find a plains, right? Yep, okay. So play the Cabaretti Courtyard. We get 3 triggers. What are we getting back? We're going to put Underworld Breach back in our hand, just so it's available to us. We get to make a spirit. Unfortunately, this will get exiled. Maybe a basic was smarter there. Oops. Cabaretti will do the thing. More triggers. The thing exiles after the graveyard, so okay. We get another spirit. We're starting to generate a meaningful amount of blockers, which I like. Let's get a plains. Use this thing to bring back the Sun Titan. Go to the battlefield with the Sun Titan. Trigger Quintorious. Get Tunneling Geoped. Make another spirit. Yeah. We've got enough blockers for Mango now. Get the Geoped. Make another one. Underworld Breach to the hand. Make another one. We're doing it. We're doing it. Oh, man, I had some real concerns that we were not going to get to do anything this game. The way everything was shaping up over here. Oy. Not a lot in the way of attackers still. I think we just sit back. So my plan's going to be end step, Walking Atlas, drop in this plains, get Dragon Master Outcast. But if we need to do anything differently, we'll just kind of sit on our stuff. That was a cool turn. Little Christmas Landy in the sense that, like, there are not a lot of replacements for these, right? Like, having both of these together is a really good time, and that's not something you can, like, always do. This is a nice little third option, not quite as good as the other two, but definitely good for certain situations, and just, you know, gives you a little redundancy in that department. Yeah, we're doing cool things, but, like, you know, this is a lot to ask for. You can't always get this in a game. I'm really disappointed they don't have the Burnishark combo in here. I think I started talking about it earlier and maybe got distracted, but yeah, if you're running a Maria Shepherd, you gotta have the Burnishark combo. Also, it's a Landfall deck. That's an easy win, right? Like, I run Burnish Heart in decks that have no synergy at all because it's still that good. I would take a Burnish Heart over that Faithless Looting. I would have been much happier with a Burnished Heart. So Mango's gonna crack the thing and draw some cards. They're gonna Gaia Reach. Ooh. You wanna see a cool line? Alright, discard the Core Cartographer. So, plains, get the Core Cartographer, get another plains, then bring back the Dragon Master Outcast. Ooh. Retreat to Emeria. So, depending on how things go here, yeah, discard the Core Cartographer. I might actually save that line that I'm talking about, because that's a bunch of landfalls, and now we have a way to pump up our creatures and, like, make them lethal. I mean, maybe not truly lethal, but at least we can, like, trade and, like, kill a lot of stuff. Mango's tapping up a lot of mana. Okay, just their commander. 3 mana up, gotta worry about it to fairies. That would be heartbreaking. We need Fellar Retreat, because that one gives them vigilance. Oh man, if we got this with Fellar Retreat, that'd be sick. Oh, they're tapping out. Night Exemplar. Ooh, not quite the fairies, but that one's pretty good. We can Chaos Warp it, I guess. I mean, now they fog. They could have just fogged earlier in F6. That's probably got to eat the... Ooh, no. We got to be careful because with this deck, they can just keep putting counters on this and we'll never actually get damage anywhere. It's possible that we kill them with landfalls. Okay. I'm going to attack with the Silver Wing just because it makes more tokens while doing so. 17-17, indestructible. Oy. Rhythm of the Wild. Yep. Halana and Alena back to play. Oh, man, that Spike Weaver, though. Concerned about that. Ranger class. What's this one do? Makes a wolf +1 counter when you attack. Yep, that's why. Cast creatures from the top. I would love it if they just like kind of tapped out for that. Either upgrade that or use this or something. Mango is still going to have a giant 17 that's going to eat anything we try to send into it. Ooh, D-Manny's going on the attack with the Kodama. So if Mango lines up blocks, I might Chaos Warp the thing. And they will no longer have Indestructible. Well, they're going to block with that one, which is giant. So This probably just eats a fog. Is he letting it go? Oh, he's putting counters on the Ozolith. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, end step, we are gonna get rid of this Knight Exemplar. We have to be careful because we don't have Vigilance. That is actually a concern. There's another land. Mango has so much life that, I mean, they could just take. And I guess if so, everything, from my count, we get 3 landfall triggers right now. What would this do for us? Let's play the Retreat to Emeria. Do I want to leave one? Yeah, I think we're going to leave a colorless floating here, but the timing of this is unfortunate. Faith's Reward or Second Sunrise are... We'd be able to, like, double up our mana and just do crazy stuff. Not a Plains. We need to play a Plains. Play the Plains. Actually, no. Play the Plains from Grave. Trigger all the stuff. Get back Core Cartographer. Tunneling Geoped will trigger. Make our stuff bigger. I should have saved that. I was going to try to do this at instant speed. Got confused. A lot of interactions I'm not completely used to. Core Cartographer to the battlefield. Make another Spirit. We might be able to make enough to actually have blockers. That's helpful. Use the ability. Get a Plains. 3 Plains left after this one. Trigger all the stuff. Get back the Dragon Master Outcast. Battlefield. No board wipe ever happened this game, so we could have cast it on turn 1. I mean, that's it's not a gamble that I like to make, but usually at least I play a board wipe. Now this deck has less removal than I normally like to run, so there is that. But I'll tell you what, for all the kind of trash talking about a lot of things, I'm having fun right now. This is a cool interaction of stuff that we have going. Just that the way that you get to it is a little dicey, and I would definitely work on some of that stuff. But the interaction, once you have it, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Are we just doing this now? We got a bunch of 6/4s. D-Man is down to 16. Yeah, I think we just go to combat. Send everything into Mango, pull these back. God, this still isn't even lethal. They could just take all this if they wanted to. I'm hoping we eat a couple. 2 profitable blocks. Nah, they're just gonna take. Wow. You can do that when you have a lot of life. True Conviction does that for you. That being the case, I don't think we want to do the Landfall thing yet. Because we want D-Manny to stick around, because this is still kind of a lot. If Mango finds something, that could be a real problem for us. So, yeah, I think we just chill. Down to 42. We've almost got them back to their starting life total. If they full-scaled us, it would hurt quite a bit. It wouldn't feel great. Is that what's happening? Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty big attack. 2 cards in hand, hopefully no tricks. Start blocking. Not going to block with the Emeria Shepherd. It's probably fine, but if they have something, I really don't want to lose Emeria Shepherd. I'm actually going to give up on this Core Cartographer, just because if landfalls start happening, we can get it back easily. So that'll let a couple through. I think I'm okay with that. We'll eat a bunch of them. Can we get 2 landfalls right now? Ew. I think we're probably about to lose something important. Yeah, they got that destroy mode on Aryel. Always kind of forget about that one. Emeria Shepherd? Yep. Oh, that's tricky. Okay. We can get it back with Underworld Breach. Is it worth burning this thing yet? We could do this, pop all of our lands, and do the landfall thing, which might not be a terrible idea. Yeah, I think we're doing it. Oh, funny story. I don't know if pumping the thing with the landfall would actually save it. It might. I think Mango's got more tricks. Plumb the Forbidden. Oh, they just sacrificed a bunch of things to draw a lot of cards. Okay. So they're trading in a lot of their creatures for card draw. Yep. Mango goes up to 9 cards. Activate the Walking Atlas. Drop in the Clifftop Retreat. I don't think there's... Yeah, we don't have a creature sack outlet or anything. Pump the creatures. Need a second pump to keep our tokens alive. Oh, what does Mango have? Target Knight gains Death Touch and Lifelink. Okay. Probably the one on Sun Titan? No, the big one. Cosmic Intervention resolves. I'm curious to see if this is actually going to die. Actually, I don't know how much they paid into it. No, it survived. Okay, yeah, it makes it an illegal target. Okay, cool. We didn't have to do all this now then, but I guess since we're here, we're going to have to do it. Start sacrificing all this stuff. We probably should have saved that mountain. That mountain's not coming back. Oh, wait. Actually, that's a replacement effect, right? I think that would work. Yeah, I actually think it makes sense. Importantly, when all this stuff comes back, it's going to make a ton of blockers, so we just need to watch out for unblockable from D-Manny. Up to 48. Don't feel quite safe yet. There's still a lot of stuff out on the board. This might crash the game. Actually, I'm a little worried about it now. Ooh, Diabolic Tutor. I mean, Teferi's Protection. Gotta be right. We actually still go back down to 28. We're going to do the thing again. So there is that. God, I wish we had Volkut Exploration in play. That would make this a lot better. Probably be able to kill both of them. Thematic Compass? That's not a bad idea. That's how D-Manny's deck will kill you. Good news is if they just try to drop a board wipe, all of our stuff just comes back. At least for this turn. I think I actually want to get this Underworld Breach into the graveyard if we can. Because then we can instant speed it with, oh yeah, that's some stuff. Return all the lands. Sadly, this isn't 15, so this won't kill D-Manny. Trigger all the stuff. Oh god, this is going to take so long. Yep, there it goes. Freaking out already. Need to sacrifice 2 lands. Yeah, this is crazy. It's taking so long to resolve all these triggers. Oh no, I forgot to sack them all again. Oh no. Well, D-Manny's at 4. On the other hand, it took a really long time to do that. Didn't move his 10 counters. Interesting. If we did it during our turn, it would have killed D-Manny when all the lands came back at the end of Mango's turn. But at that point, I was trying to stay open for what Mango had. Tell you what, though, hopefully D-Manny doesn't find anything, because we kind of needed the life gain from the second round of Zerun Orb triggers. Oh, really? Well, it's only got 2 cards. That's enough to get past a lot of token blockers. We're really going to lose this friggin' thing. I mean, I guess we could, if we have to, we can just sack lands with no ability to get them back, because we literally just need to survive back to our... Oh, God, really? Yep. Trigger the stuff. Mango drew 6th. I mean, there's no way he doesn't try to kill us. Like, he has to try to kill us because of the thing. I don't think we have any landfall tricks left either. This is tapped, unfortunately. Yep, so we're just going to have to try to weather the assault from this. Not thrilled about that. God, I wish I left this in the graveyard. Is this a May? Yeah, it's a May. So we could have left this in the graveyard for a moment when we needed it, but, you know, getting it back seemed like the right idea. What's this? That's 4 counters on it, 5 power. Yeah, so we have, what, 1 blocker? Awesome. So awesome. Down to 2. Wow, we activated the War Room down to 2. Oh, if only we could get 2 landfalls. Oh, those triggers at combat? Oh, yeah, we're gonna die. Wonderful. Yep, 19 power on the commander. Love it. 19 counter. Everything's unblockable. Wonderful. Yep. They're sending the commander to Mango, which actually gives us a chance here. I think we just have to Zero and Orb some lands. Try to survive. It's been a long time since that's been a thing. That is, yeah. You don't see a lot of Zero and Orb play these days. So we got 25. They tapped Kessig Wolfram. Nice. Nice. That's 30 coming at us. So yeah, we just sacrifice some lands. Sacrifice that one. Sacrifice this one. 25, 30. We should survive it too. Spire's the commander. Okay, Mango will survive. Can't block. We survive it too. So we have D-Manny dead to rights unless he comes up with a removal spell right here, which is good. Then we just got to deal with Mango. It says D-Manny's getting some lands. I don't know if that's a... Oh, these might have got... Oh, these got sacked at the end. Oh, nice. This should just kill D-Manny right here. So these were sacked to the Scorched Ruins. D-Manny having trouble understanding the interaction. It's actually like a little confusing, but let's just say you have a fetch land. You play the Cosmic Intervention, sacrifice your fetch land. It'll come back at the end step. You then sacrifice it again at the end step. Cosmic Intervention is still active at that end step, which means it comes back again at the beginning of the next end step. So you get 3 lands off of a fetch land in a Cosmic Intervention. It's pretty good. So a couple of mistakes in this last round here. One, we should have probably just killed D-Manny on our turn with this line of play instead of waiting, because that would have been enough landfall triggers to easily take care of it. 2, D-Manny could have attacked us with everything, and we wouldn't be able to soak up all that much damage. They then have to deal with Mango, which isn't amazing, but by not killing either of us, right, they're also dead, so that's their punt. We made a punt too by letting them live that long. So, give and take. I think we're gonna get to make a Dragon Master Outcast thing. That's always exciting. He's gonna pump Mango's creature. It's annoying. Yeah, I'm really not feeling this thing in this type of deck. If you have a green deck that has like a whole bunch of like play extra lands from your hand, it might be fine, but like it's like a fairly costed scape shift basically, and like having to pay for the lands, having to pay X is a problem. You can't just sacrifice as many as you want. There's a Tunneling Geopet trigger. This should take down D-Manny, unless he's got some life gain. Nope. Down he goes. And we'll make a 1/1. Still got to crash through Mango here. Mango's got a decent amount of life and a lot of creatures in play still. A little bit of open mana is a reason to be scared. Teferi's Protection would be a real problem. Especially if they got a big flyer. Felidar Retreat would be nice. Dragon Master Outcast, that's a flyer for us. That's an important. Thespian Stage. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, can copy that. Seems good. Trying to stay open on our plans here. Maybe we just play the Thespian Stage. Yeah, play the Thespian Stage. Retreat this time, we're gonna go +1/+1. Should we play the Chaos Warp? Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, I have a plan here. Okay, let's play the Underworld Breach, because as long as Amaria Shepherd sticks, we can just get it back with something. So this gives us like... Oh, we can make our stuff indestructible? That's cool. Why I'm doing this is because we can Chaos Warp something if like a problem shows up. Pull back a bunch of stuff. Anything of value. Oh no, I didn't attack with the Sun Titan. I wanted to attack with the Sun Titan. Crap. Crap. See what Mango's got. Gaia Reach is what they got. Anointed Procession. Well, that would have been nice. Discard that because it's a permanent. We can get it back easily. Means they're looking for the answer though. And they found it. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so what do we need to do? Let's Chaos Warp. I think the Silver Wing. Although Chaos Warping the Aryel keeps Amaria Shepherd alive, which is probably important. Need to exile some stuff. Let's go Spell. Yeah, I guess this one too. And Mountain Plains. I guess this one. Acclaimed Contender. I have no idea How this just came in. Oh, from the Chaos Warp. Right. Okay. We could Chaos Warp again. I don't think that's the play, though. Mango phases out. Cast Cosmic Intervention. Ugh. The Exile 3 is going to be rough here. Guess it's got to be these 3. Most of Mango's board state was propped up by that Silverwing Squadron, just all game, right? Like, all of these tokens are from Silverwing Squadron. Just many turns of no one doing anything about it. Quintorious triggers, which is good. It's going to get us more blockers, which we need. Then we're going to Zuran Orb all of our lands again. Funny story, does Cosmic Intervention bring back Underworld Breach? The timing will be weird, though. Zuran Orb all the lands again. Up to 22. Medium healthy. I'm just going to keep that Landfall trigger in the pocket in case we need it. Everything was back. Oh, yeah, no, I think the Underworld Breach is going to come back at the end step, which is really strange interaction. Yep, it goes into exile. I think we need an F6 here. Yeah, we're really making a lot of tokens. Like, this is an absurd number of tokens. This interaction is crazy, too. Like, I don't play a lot of decks like this. This is actually pretty interesting. Not paying the life. Sacrifice 2 lands. Ah, crap, I F6'd again. Crap, we needed to gain that life. That's twice, because it takes so long to resolve those triggers. Look, we have 12 minutes left on the clock. Like, yeah, in paper, this would be much easier to execute, but 10 extra life there. Ooh, Slate of Ancestry. At least it's really mana intense. They're starting to get some help off that Urborg, though, or off the coffers. I've always wanted to use this card. I just don't play enough token deck. You know what? This might be the deck for that card. Now, it's not going to be good early in the game. Ooh, that's an unbreakable formation. Gross. Well, at least we have a lot of blockers. Activates the thing. They're going to draw a lot of cards. They'll have enough mana for, like, one big play. Hopefully that's not a big play that kills us. Oh, really? Really? Can we do anything? That doesn't come back till the end step. Shit. I don't know. I mean, we have nothing left, though, right? Yeah, it's missing 2 rounds of Zuran Orbs. Yeah, we can't do it. Yeah, so missing those 2 rounds of Zuran Orbs with the Cosmic Intervention, that's kind of what got us. Because, well, I mean, there were a lot of things. So we'd be able to survive with the 2 rounds of, but like we wouldn't exactly be able to do anything. Really, the issue is like Mango needed to not top deck that Teferi's Protection. I asked and they said they top decked it, right? That's what needs to happen. You know, that's a game-winning card and we didn't draw one, they did. And that's kind of what a lot of games come down to now. It's like most cards are evenly matched and it's like, okay, Mango is making creatures, we're making creatures, at least later on. And then it's just like, who draws their big backbreaking card first, right? And Mango did, we did not. So, yeah, that's a thing. It would have been a much easier battle if, like, D-Manny tapped out and didn't shoot the True Conviction. I think we're shields down. I can't remember exactly what happened to that turn, but not letting them get the True Conviction hit would have kept their life total at a manageable place, and that didn't happen. So my preconceptions on the deck are all pretty accurate. There are some really cool interactions in the deck, like, no doubt. Just, it does weird, interesting things that are very cool. That I like. What I don't like is the ramp removal card draw portion of the deck, right? Like, you need to do those 3 things in order to have success. And that's the part where this deck really struggles. So, like, it took us forever to actually impact the board. Like, we were doing almost nothing for, like, 7 turns. So, my overall thought is, I think you can build a really cool version of this deck. I think you would want to work on this and, like, kind of tinker with it and, you know, get this removal up, get the card draw up. I mean, I complained about Faithless looting for a while. I don't think this deck needs looting. I think it needs wheels, right? If you want a lot of lands, the key is you need a lot of cards, and looting doesn't get you a lot of cards. It puts cards in your graveyard, which is like fine-ish for this deck, but it's not. It's like, let's see. Cosmic Intervention needs to die from the battlefield. Faith's Reward needs to die from the battlefield. Second Sunrise is also from the battlefield. So, like, just looting things into your graveyard is not that helpful for this deck. So, like, imagine if this was the Teferi's Protection. Right? This is a cool card because it's flexible, but it is not Teferi's Protection. Yeah, so this deck is, it looks very budgety from looking at it, which means, you know, putting expensive stuff in would definitely help. But even without just going like crazy expensive cards, I still think it needs a couple things. I added this Cathar's Crusade. You know, something like that should be in this deck if you're making a ton of tokens like that. There's Gold Knight Commander and a few other things that have like similar effects. Some sort of pump effect, right? You're making a lot of tokens. So you want a way to pump those up. Could be an Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn's always good too. But my thought right now, so if I were going to take this deck and then, you know, put the Commander replay stamp on it and make it how I would make it, I think the idea is to tighten up the package a little bit. I'd probably really go in on these like Faith's Reward type cards, then just make it like Armageddon Garden, Cataclysm, that type stuff, where it's just pop all your lands at once, get them all back. No one else probably has any. Then trigger all your landfall stuff a lot of times. And basically, I would try to play it more like a combo deck, where, you know, I'm thinking about trying to get like these maybe 4 or so pieces that I need in play. I'm not just running all the like this thing. There are times where this thing could be good, but for the most part, I think this is going to be right. I would take any of the other Anthem effects over this because it's just like, right? It's okay at best. If you already have the other 4 cards you need, then you're like, oh yeah, I can get +5 with this, but right? That's just a lot to ask for. So that's my main thought. My main thought is that I would try to tighten everything up, use less cards on the landfall theme, but just use the best ones, and then more card draw, more tutors, more ways to get to those cards. I think that's kind of how I would approach this. Think of it as a combo deck. Anyway, yeah, it had some really cool interactions. We got to do some really interesting things that my decks don't typically do. So that was pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.